But we'll see. We'll see if we can sell our kidneys and
Uh,
and end up with 30 grand to go see a game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a mini series, mini podcast. We're gonna make this short today, short and sweet. Listen, that's Franco. I'm Joey. We're here to talk about the NHL playoffs and the Euro 2020/2021. Obviously, we're supposed to be done last year, but COVID said, "Hey, we're doing it this year." We just finished watching Sweden and the Ukraine. The Ukraine pulling out the upset 2-1 with about a minute left in extra time. So the quarterfinals are set. So let's show everybody those before we get into the Habs game. Just make things a little bit simpler for everybody. So here are your quarterfinal matchups. Obviously, the TBD is literally 2 minutes ago. The game just finished.
it's huge.
So I guess what do you see about these teams, and what do you think? Who do you think is kind of going to go through here? Because it's kind of weird on the both sides of the bracket. I find one side clearly had stronger teams, higher in the FIFA ratings, and just generally playing better. And then the other side kind of just didn't impress me. So obviously, as Italy fans, we kind of got the bad end of the stick, but it's okay.
I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say it's bad because Spain hasn't impressed me.
Yeah, no. Spain, I think, has been one of the more disappointing of the teams that are in the quarters for sure.
They have no defense. Like their defense is not what it used to be anymore.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, you don't have the massive players that they used to have,
and their midfield too is not the same. So I think Switzerland's going to give them a hard time. If Switzerland came back,
Switzerland's kind of the Cinderella story in this case. So obviously, with that big win against France, France's first half was just horrendous. I think it was due to the formation. They tried a different formation, and it just didn't really work for them. There was a lot of space in the middle of the field and all that, so Switzerland kind of took advantage. And then very, very strange game, that one, and the Spain.
The Spain
Croatia, both of those with both of those games together, they combined for what is that 15 goals or something?
Yes,
almost 15 goals. So 2 games. That's pretty intense. But yeah, so Switzerland and Spain. Do you see Switzerland pulling out again, or I don't know.
I could see. I see it more here than against the France.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I mean, they're probably still the underdog.
They are by far, but
Spain is still ranked, top. What is it? Top 10, I think, in FIFA rankings. I think still top 7. I know Italy's 7th, Belgium is 1st, stuff like that. So, listen, Switzerland kind of is an organized team. They do things kind of as a unit, and they do have some talent in Shaqiri and Xhaka. Mbolo, who's good too. They've got some players that can make a difference.
And actually play, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And so if those guys can make a difference for them in that game, then I could see them, potentially pulling out another 2-1 or kind of an upset style game. I don't think it's going to be as open and as weird as the France game was.
I don't know.
I think it'll be a bit more defensively sound, I would say.
Yeah, I think after both teams having very open games in the round of 16, high offensive games, I think both coaches are gonna want to, structure down and play defense a little bit.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say about the Denmark and Czech Republic game? I mean, it's probably the least.
Look, I don't. I hope Denmark moves on just for Eriksson there, just for
just for the story. Yeah,
just for the story. But I also like how I've been watching the Czech play. And I like how they've been playing. Also, another Cinderella story too. They don't have a great team. There's no superstar. It's a hardworking team. Yeah. And then Ukraine versus England. I hope Ukraine wins because I don't like England. I hate
England really, really, really reminds me of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I say this all the time.
We've been saying this the whole
it's just they had the success in the '60s, and then never again. And then every time they come to a tournament, it's oh my God, England's gonna win. Yeah. And every commentator that's on TV, at least in Canada, is from England or from the area, and so they're basically always rooting for them. Like after the win today, they were literally talking about them winning the Euro. Like I'm like, take it easy. You're in this. They're in the quarters. Great, it's a win. Great, but don't celebrate it like as if it's the first time you ever win anything.
Like
Um,
you beat a wounded Germany. I hope you
yeah,
know. Like
yeah,
they like
and
Germany
and a Germany that
garbage.
wasn't playing very well, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, I know Germany. They're at the end of their cycle. Like their
Yeah,
cycle is fini.
yeah.
So
I think their coach maybe overstayed his welcome a little bit. Probably should have.
left
I think
early.
he probably should have stepped down. Yeah, at least in the last tournament, last international. Give
Yeah,
somebody else a chance to bring these newer kids up and stuff like that. Listen, he's been great for what is it, almost 20 years or something. He's been there like 18 or 14 or something like that.
15
I don't
years.
know. Yeah, something like that. So he's been there for a long time. He's had a lot of success, obviously, with the World Cup. They won a Euro in that time. I don't think they won a Euro in that time, but
No,
he did get a World
just a
Cup,
world. Just a
and they
world.
were always contenders, and they were
Yeah,
always
every year.
structured teams, and listen, he had success. And then I guess we'll end off with the Italy Belgium game.
Yeah,
Obviously, who we're cheering for.
yeah. Italy.
Um, we'll see what happens. I mean, Belgium is considered the
Oh, they're
best team in the
lucky.
world at the moment, but yeah,
They
go ahead.
have they have Hazard and De Bruyne are out. They're not playing. They're
Yeah,
ruled
well,
out for
the
Portugal.
Bruyne, I'm pretty sure was an injury, was it not?
Yeah, but even Hazard.
Hazard was an injury too. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, he pulled up and he some hamstring or some problem like that.
Yeah, so I mean, listen,
So
you're taking out arguably their two best players.
that's two. That's their two best players that supply the ball to
Yeah,
Lukaku.
yeah.
Now all we have to do is just
Is make sure that Lukaku doesn't get the ball.
literally
That's
all
it.
you have to
Yeah,
do is play
yeah.
tight on Lukaku and you'll win. And you'll win. Trust me. Chiellini knows exactly. Chiellini is coming back. So Chiellini knows exactly what
I
he
don't know if
wants.
I don't I mean I obviously love that he is coming back. But if he is injured, I don't want him to,
Trust me, this guy's gonna be a horse. He's gonna come in the first 20 minutes, come in and
know.
like break his legs, and then sub off. I'm hurt, and then okay. But no, look, he's done it in the past, even with Juventus this season when we played against Inter. Like Chiellini, his job was literally every time Lukaku got
Just
the ball,
man mark
just man mark
Lukaku.
him, play
Yeah.
tight on him, and that's it. So that's what we have to do, and I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine because, or else, besides that, I don't see any other threat
I mean,
that.
the other Hazard is not bad either.
Yeah, but
Obviously, he scored the goal last game, but he's dynamic, and I mean, he's not his brother, but
I don't think he
you
could
know,
like single-handedly take
no,
the
no, there's no
game.
player that could single-handedly take over the game,
Exactly.
which
Like
is good
Lukaku is the only one.
because of De Bruyne
Yeah,
and a Hazard kind of can.
yeah,
Um, they're a structured team. They're a solid team. I mean, you're gonna need to play well to beat them. You can't afford to make mistakes and stuff like that. People made a lot about them having trouble with Austria. I don't even really. I mean, we watched the game together. I don't really think they had that much trouble. I think we just didn't. They didn't capitalize on
I think
the
it's just a lot of
opportunities they had, and they didn't play their best game.
yeah. I think it's a lot of people like not knowing who Austria is and not knowing
Yeah,
the
that too.
players that play for them
That too.
and thinking Austria, okay, yeah, Italy's playing Austria, it's an easy win. We'll smack them 3-0.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew it wasn't going to be easy. I think it was going to be a hard game because most of their players they all play like Division 1 in Germany in Bundesliga. So it
yeah.
was going to be a very very hard game. But like you said, they in the extra time they were tired. They had no gas left, and it was only a matter of time before Italy get a goal.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a strategy that they've used in the past. I mean, this tournament anyway. They've scored a lot of late goals,
Yeah,
or it's like second half goals anyway. Because I find that the way they play, yes, they play almost the same way every time up the left side, use those guys to create and whatever. But I think that doing that over and over again, eventually the team's like, okay, well, you know, we're tired,
yeah,
like, and especially because Austria did basically their team. You said it also when we were watching the game. Like that's their best team. Like they can't really afford
yeah,
to sub
yeah.
anybody off. They don't have a bench that's solid. Versus Italy has Chiesa who came on and scored.
Exactly.
Like it's not that he's the only one who can come on and score, but
No, there's other
they
guys.
have the ability to that have real good experience and real good quality players. So listen, you have to have your best game. I mean, this has to be their best game.
Oh yeah, this is
Uh,
no choice now.
because after that, every other team is just not as good, right?
I
It's
think I
just
think
it's pretty obvious
if
in
we
that
if we
sense.
if we beat Belgium, I think we have a very good chance of going in the finals. Like I'm
Yeah,
telling you, a good chance to
because
go to
again, you think
final.
about it, it's Spain, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Denmark, England, and Ukraine.
Ukraine, yeah. So
Like assuming England gets past Ukraine,
yeah,
they could probably get past
Yeah, they go
Denmark
to the
or
finals.
Czech Republic, right?
Hmm.
And then you're thinking Italy, if they get past Belgium, they could probably get past Spain or Switzerland. Switzerland for sure. I mean, we already beat them three. They already beat them
I
three
know.
zero. So you're already looking at it and you're saying, okay, well, this is the biggest game for the tournament in Italy in terms of what they have to do, the toughest challenge. Again, if they don't have both of those players, all the better. But hey, is what it is. We'll see what happens.
We'll see
Uh,
Friday.
to remind you guys, yeah, that's Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Second.
We'll be live tweeting the the game because
Yeah.
I find soccer we can live tweet a little bit
Yeah, it's a
more
little bit slower.
because it's slower. Yeah, yeah. Hockey is a little bit difficult to do that. Speaking of, let's move on. Stanley Cup Final. First of all, my
Ah!
lifetime. I was sitting with my uncle yesterday, and he was born in 60. I think in 60, I
Okay, so
believe.
you saw
Yeah,
some
so he's
cups in a
so
row.
60 or 63. He's seen all of them.
Yeah.
He's seen the 70s cups. He's seen the 80 cup. He saw the 80 cup, 86 cup, and the 93 cup. And when the puck dropped, I'm like, wow, first time Habs are in the finals. Like in my lifetime. And he's like, for real? And I was like, yeah, it's the first time ever. And he's like, wow, it's crazy
Yeah.
how much success they
Wild.
had before, and kind of how long it's been, I guess.
Like
What did you
I don't
kind
know.
of?
For some reason, it didn't feel like a final game. I don't know. It felt weird. It felt
Yeah,
weird being there.
yeah, I saw a lot of Twitter tweets saying that Tampa Bay was trying to make it a regular season game.
Yeah.
Uh, just that feel, and there was a little bit. I mean, there was obviously a lot of like dirty hits and dirty
Yeah.
plays
Yeah.
and whatever throughout the whole game from both teams. Obviously, in the third period, the Habs basically just continued to do that because that was their only. I mean, in a way, I get it, and that's probably what they
Game
thought
one.
also is that like, listen, this game's done. It's 3-1. We're not getting any offense.
We're not
We
gonna
don't
get
have
pushed
any
again.
legs left. So let's just try to hurt a couple guys. Now, is it the right thing to do?
I don't think.
Probably
I don't
not.
think. I don't think they were trying to hurt. Like
No, no.
actually.
They were
But
trying to make sure that they had a difficult game and that they
yeah.
had to use a lot of ice on the way back to the
Like
next
they
game.
were. I think they were passing the message. Like if you're coming in front of the next game, you think twice because we're gonna cross check you.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the next game the Canadians have to play whistle to whistle. None of the extra stuff. Zero. They
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
They do not need the extra stuff. You don't need a guy like Pat Maroon being an idiot.
Yeah.
You don't need Sergachev doing stupidities like he did last game. Coleman, Goudreau, guys like that. I mean, Tampa Bay is a dirty hockey team in the sense of they will
But
go after you after the whistle. They will
yeah.
make stupid plays. They will cheap shot you when the ref's not looking. That's what it is. That's playoff hockey. That's why they won. That's how they're able to continue to win
They have
in
like
your head, and that's it.
they play on like a very like thin. They play on the line like of like borderline. What's good and what's not. So it's very like sometimes like the refs I see like they don't know what like to call.
They didn't call anything on the Weber slash that he got fined for.
Yeah.
The refs didn't call that at all. And the guy that happened right in front of the ref. So
Yeah.
again, the officiating, I don't know, like whatever it is, what it is. Wasn't the
I
best
guess they
officiated
let
game
him
yesterday,
play.
but they only gave they gave one penalty on each side, and then a double
Yeah,
minor,
two doubles.
another
Two.
double minor. Sorry, offsetting.
No, but we
But
got no
the
we
Habs had one power play, I believe, yesterday.
yeah, but we gave them two. We gave them a 5-on-3.
Yes, but that was at the end of the game when it was out of reach, basically, because they were just
Yeah, Edmondson gave like
doing what exactly.
two left hooks, man. He just boom.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
I
just
was
said,
like,
you know what?
holy
If you're
shit.
gonna come around here, that's it. We're frustrated. We don't like getting beat, and
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, at a certain point, I get the message. Like I get that that's what they're
yeah.
trying to
No,
do,
I understand it too.
but the next time they need to stay out of all of it. Like they don't
Yeah,
even just don't even engage. You play whistle to whistle. You play hard. You hit guys hard in the corners, whatever. But there's no reason for you to have the extra,
yeah.
little
I
bit
think I
after the
think
end.
they'll
That's it.
it'll be
Um,
mentioned in the meeting and like what Gallagher did when it was like 4-1 or 3-1. Like he almost got his head sliced open. Like fucking he was bleeding.
well, he
Like
did get his head sliced
I
open,
know,
pretty
but
much.
like what I was mean like. It was so unnecessary, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I understand why he's doing it, but like ah,
And he's always been like that in a
yeah,
sense, right? That's his style
yeah,
of
you
play.
can't tell
If
him to
you agree with
stop,
it or
right?
not, it's irrelevant. Yeah, exactly. I'd say, is there anything that you noticed kind of differently between Tampa and everybody else? Uh, Kind of just the type of opponent they are,
Yeah.
obviously.
I think people are like underestimating like how Tampa Bay, how good defensively they are, and how good they could actually play a system, and not like Vegas where it's full pin. We're going forward. Forget about anything else. Like Tampa Bay, they if they want to win a game 1-0, they'll win the game 1-0. Like they have the
Yeah.
ability to do that, and their coach, like I give a lot of credit to John Cooper, even though I find he's kind of a dick, but I don't know, he just looks like a dick.
Yeah, he's unnecessarily cocky.
Yeah, he
I
looks
think
like an
is
arrogant. He
the
looks very arrogant.
yeah. But I mean, listen, you have to have some type of
But
arrogance in your team. That's how they play. That's how his team plays.
I
They
have
play
to give it
arrogant.
to him. He's a good coach. He's a good coach. So
Tactics wise, of course, yeah. You
that's what
don't you
I've seen. Like they clogged the middle. Like I think very good.
To be fair, I think yesterday, more than the Habs, not you know, they didn't take care of the puck. That's
Yeah,
obviously a
yeah,
given.
that
That's
was
fine.
number one. We gave the puck away a lot.
But aside from that, there's a very specific play that happens every time that they come up the ice, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and if they're able to capitalize on this in Game 2 and going forward, this is not exclusively to Game 1 of this series. This is throughout Tampa's. This is why the Islanders were able to have success
Yeah,
against them to a certain extent. It's that second pass out of their zone. The
yeah.
first
I
pass
just
into the
told
neutral
that.
zone. It's always in feet. It's always you're always they always rely on the skill of their wingers to be able to trap a puck down or to get a puck off an ankle and make a play. They always rely on that. Now, as good as their defensemen are, as good as their forwards are, if you're on them, if you have two guys on that person who's getting that puck on the boards, they won't have the opportunity to make a play fast enough.
Hmm.
The few opportunities that we had, the Josh Anderson opportunity that he
Yeah,
went in almost alone, the few opportunities they had, that's exactly what happened. A D came down right above where their forward is, and another forward came into press. So
we
as
pressed
soon as
them
that
hard.
puck was bouncing, our forward was on it, and we're in the other zone. That's where I think that's the only place that they can cause turnovers. That's really going to be kind of beneficial for them
Yeah,
capitalizing on chances. You have
I
to
think
capitalize on chances. Vasilevsky is not any of
yeah.
the goalies you faced so far.
He's not gonna give you a freebie. He's not gonna give you
He might because he does tend to like they go through him a little bit because he's so
yeah.
athletic and his hands are always so active. This is a whole other goalie conversation, but his hands are so active that sometimes if you go under his arm, if you shoot in the chest almost, but no player is ever gonna go, yeah, let me shoot it in the chest
Yeah.
and hope it squeaks through, right? Like you can't shoot it at his chest. You gotta pick corners. But
Yeah.
if you're just throwing pucks on net, there is one that's gonna squeak through eventually. That's just inevitable for how quick he is and how he keeps his hands. It's just his style. But I don't know if there's anything else you noticed. Obviously, we spoke about the cap situation and whatever, but I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to get into that too much. We're already 20 minutes in, and we want to keep it short. So
No, I think uh like the first game in Vegas, I think Gaines kind of just went out there just to feel how the team plays, and now I think they're gonna make a lot of adjustments. I think our forecheck's gonna be a little bit different. I think we should change that. It's not Vegas, they're a lot faster and they can move the puck. I think a lot better because their defensemen are better.
that first pass, yeah, and
Yeah,
then it's that second pass,
that's
like we
second
said, like I
where
was
I
saying,
think I
out of
think
the zone where you can.
our defensemen against Vegas, they kind of held back. Like they gave them the neutral zone because our wingers were up high, so we clogged. I think now we have to, play a little bit more deeper. I mean, like deeper in, and like
Yeah,
try to close them out, pressure them. Look, if we could do
and it
that,
needs to be clogged
yeah.
because yesterday there was too much speed coming through the neutral zone,
And
and
they had a lot of speed coming in our zone too. Like there wasn't like dumpings. There weren't a lot of dumpings
yeah,
in them.
and that affects a lot of the gapping for the defenseman. We talk about gapping a lot, but the defenseman also can't gap if the guy's coming at you at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I
Like you,
forgot
you
about
can't you can't gap up to him. You're going
that.
backwards,
Nothing.
right?
You have no
So
choice.
you have to have your forwards in support in a situation where when they pick up the puck, they're almost at our line, right? So they're not picking it up with speed coming from their blue line to our. They're not carrying the puck through the neutral zone with speed. If they pick it up, they pick it up in the neutral zone as a standstill. That's what the New York Islanders were able to do. That's what clogged them up. And once you take away that option, That's when you can force turnovers. That's when you can catch their defensemen coming up the play because they do that a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, was it yesterday Cernak scored that goal?
Yeah, Chernak, the
Like
first goal.
Cernak doesn't even have a goal. I think in I don't even know how long,
Eric
but
Chernak.
they always are up in the play every
Yeah,
single time,
they
and you see
support.
it
They support.
and you see it in the NHL. They have those little documentaries or whatever. John Cooper, every single time they come into intermission, make sure these are up in every play. Literally, he says it. It's like he's giving information away to people on the NHL
But
network or whatever it is.
like we see it, and I
It's
think
very obvious. So they have to figure out a way to capitalize
yeah,
on the pucks getting turned over and getting up ice with speed.
I think the difference between the Vegas series and this series is that like Tampa Bay's forwards, when the defensemen's like come up with the attack, like they're there to support them. And the Vegas, like Petrangelo, when he was coming up, Shea Theodore was coming up, he was most likely 8 out of the 10 times he would do it, he was all alone. There was no support. He would have to either go through seven
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. It wasn't an odd man or a four
Yeah,
on two or 4-on-3. Yeah, they weren't out. He wasn't outnumbering the Canadians
but I
defense.
think that's where the Kings should adjust. Look, they're gonna make adjustments. Like I said, I think the key is stay out of the box against this team because
Yeah,
fucking they scare the shit out of me on the power play.
listen. Granted, they scored pretty much at the end of the 5-on-3.
Yeah,
I mean, the 5-on-3 was over. The guy got on the ice. They scored.
it was a
On a
stupid.
5-on-3, it's pretty much a given goal with
Yeah,
any team. Never mind the team
yeah,
with
especially
that kind of
Tampa Bay.
firepower. So you do have to stay out of the box. I understand why they took that penalty at the end of the game. It is
Yeah,
what it is. But I think they have to reset, and I think they have to make those few adjustments, force those turnovers, and clog the zone. And eventually, we talk about creating chances and creating offense, and the Habs are always good 5-on-5 creating chances. Their advanced analytics are so good and whatever.
mhm.
I think a lot of that just comes with the forecheck and turning the puck over. That's what happens in
But
five on
that's
five.
what
It's
we
not
were
like we
doing.
have
That's what we were.
sustained pressure for God knows how long.
No, it's that we
But
were good
that
at.
happens when we create a turnover and then we get in and then they're tired and then we could switch, change our lines. That's when you get it. But it has to start off with the turnovers. It has to start from the forecheck. I think that's where guys have to adjust. Like you said, the speed of this team is a little bit different than
Yeah. Oh yeah. A
the
lot
speed of
different.
execution. But I do think that there's a lot of mistakes being made between the Tampa Bay blue line and the red line. I think
Yeah,
there's a lot of mistakes that Tampa Bay
you
is
said
making, and I said it 3 times, I think it was, and all 3 times that I said it,
it's
that's when we had our opportunities, and when they were able to get through, that's when they had their opportunities.
like literally you said the series is gonna be one between our blue line and their blue line. Whoever
Yep.
turns the puck over is gonna get caught. The first goal, Caulfield got into their blue line, made a cross pass.
To be
I
fair,
don't
it
know.
wasn't really. I didn't really blame him on that, to be honest. But
I'm not blaming him, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
but that's what happens. You just
saying
you
puck
can't
got
can't
turned
have that
over.
can't have that happen. Yeah, you're right.
I It happens, but it's fine. It's look, I rather him make it than fucking Dano. That's
Someone else. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like
And
so.
at the end of the day, he didn't really cost the goal. I mean, there was still a whole bunch of stuff that happened
Yeah,
before the puck went in the
it could
net.
have been like avoided,
Prevented. Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's fine. Don't worry.
yeah.
It's not the end of the day. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. They'll make some
People don't have to
adjustments.
just
They did.
chill.
They did that after game one in Vegas. And those of you who are worried, hey, listen, the last 3 times the Habs won the cup, they lost the game one of the series. 79, 86, and 93. So if you're worried, don't worry. This game is meant to be 7 games for a reason. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a game of hockey. The series is meant to be 7
Let's
games
hope
for
it
a
goes to
reason.
game 7. I don't know if
And
people. I don't know if people know if it goes to game 7. Uh, the final game of game 7, the Euros is the finals
it's
too.
July 11th, yeah.
July
So the
11th.
Euros would be in the afternoon, and then the Habs game would be at night. So
Only
if
Italy.
perchance Italy wins in the final, and if perchance the Canadians win in Game 7,
Montreal is
I
burnt.
don't think you're gonna have a city on July 12th. If we're gonna be honest. So um,
That'll be
we'll see
crazy.
what happens. Take it one game at a time. I think they'll take it one period at a time.
Look, we're gonna get some like needed reinforcements with like Armia coming back. I know it's not like the biggest, but it'll make a big
No, but
difference.
it'll bring back maybe the chemistry of that line.
Yeah,
Jake Evans didn't play a bad game. Just to
but
show that he
it
hasn't played.
shows that
Shows
he
that he
has.
hasn't played, right? That's all it is.
And
So
Ducharme coming back with game 3, I think that would be good because they were
gives him a
saying
little boost.
there was a lot of like like Ducharme, his strength is making adjustments on
Adjustments.
the
Yeah.
fly,
Yeah.
like during the game. And I
Yeah.
think Luke Richardson, I'm not taking anything away from him. He's done an amazing job, but like I think that's not his strength.
Yeah.
Ducharme would, you know, do these little
They'd
tricks.
benefit from it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
exactly.
Anyway, so maybe we'll do a little, another little mini recap after the next game, or maybe after Game 3 in Montreal.
Mhm.
Obviously, the rumors are still circulating about the 10,000 fans.
Apparently,
So
that's
we'll
what
see
it
what
is.
happens.
Apparently,
Um,
that's what it is.
so we'll see what happens. If they can get half capacity, I think that would be obviously
That would be
an
nice. That would be nice.
advantage.
Yeah.
Um, and we'll see what happens. I guess so. We'll talk to you guys
We'll
probably
try to
by
get
the end of the week.
we'll try to get tickets. We'll try to go. We'll try to
And
be
we'll try to maybe we'll have a video of just us trying to get tickets for 30 grand. Uh, but we'll see if we can sell our kidneys and
uh,
and end up with 30 grand to go see a game. But yeah, thanks for joining us again. If
yeah.
you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Always give us the like, the thumbs up, and comment if you have any concerns about what we've been saying on our show. Uh, or if you like what we're saying on our show, go ahead. But anyway, thanks again for joining us. Franco, thanks for joining me, and see you soon.
Yes, sir.